get to my take, and today my take, I title it, All Mining Licenses and Leases Are Unconstitutional and Invalid. So why don't we halt and start afresh? Hashtag NOTOGALAMSEY. Our Supreme Court, as recently as 2016, held that, quotes, the expression ratification in the context of Article 268 simply means approval. One does not have to travel far to find that that is so. The purpose of requiring parliamentary approval of agreements or measures of critical national importance has been held by this court to be to ensure transparency, openness, and parliamentary consent in the national interest. The court continued that, quote, this provision, that's Article 268, is clear and unambiguous insofar as the prior ratification by Parliament was concerned. So what is this Article 268, and what has it got to do with the people's fight against Galamsey? Well, Kojo Yankson drew my attention to it. I read, did what I was trained to do, reading legal documents like a constitution. Then Occupy Ghana's Ace Ankuma threw it at me with questions, work, and later with what the Supreme Court says about it. I concluded, as Occupy Ghana is already pushing, that this is the most potent way to quickly halt the threat of gold mining, especially as manifested in small-scale mining and its antecedents, Galamsey. Here is the provision. It says, any transaction, contract, or undertaking involving the grant of a right or concession by or on behalf of any person, including the government of Ghana, to any other person or body of persons, howsoever described, for the exploitation of any mineral, water, or other natural resources of Ghana, made or entered into after the coming into force of this Constitution, shall be, and that is the operative word, shall be subject to ratification by Parliament. So I skip the rest of it. You go to myjawonline.com and you read the full text of Article 268 and 269. I continue with the Supreme Court's decision of this provision. It said that, quote, the words or expressions undertaking, contract, and transaction as used in Article 2681 of the Constitution have no special meanings. It means anybody can read and understand. You don't really need the training of a lawyer to understand. They have no any special meaning. They must be given their ordinary meaning in order to give effect to this provision. In the law of contract, the person whose ratification of a contract is required is a necessary party to give the contract its, now notes, its validity and legal enforceability. Its validity and legal enforceability. Without the ratification, either expressly or impliedly giving, such an agreement is, note, invalid, unquote. And this is the Supreme Court speaking. So, there is no need belaboring the point. There doesn't seem to be any evidence this mandatory prior approval by Parliament of any mining license or lease has taken place in Parliament. Meaning, it does not appear that there has been a single of such licenses or leases granted to persons or entities for mining taken to Parliament and for the prior approval to have been obtained. Consequently, all licenses and leases granted by the government, either directly or acting together with or through the Minerals Commission, etc., are unconstitutional and void at law. They are as worthless as the pieces of paper they are written on. This is why our Supreme Court has always declared as unconstitutional, null and void, important Article 88.5 international contracts Ghana has entered into without prior parliamentary approval. and you know of several of those. In the meantime, just what is the difficulty in ensuring strict enforcement of the laws, particularly the Minerals and Mining Act, against which the Lands Ministry and the Minerals Commission have been perpetuating this unconstitutional conduct in the grant of licenses and leases? We can't seem to follow the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme and our own enactments against trading in gold, which are also meant to protect the environment against the irreparable damage of unregulated mining. Sections 89 and 106 provide sanctions ranging from a fine of up to 36,000 Ghana cedis and or 5 years in jail for selling or buying minerals without a license or valid authority, undertaking illegal small-scale mining, or simply violating this law. Foreigners are prohibited from small-scale mining. So what do we see? And when caught, they are liable to be fined up to 360,000 Ghana cedis and or go to jail for 20 years. If they are engaged, these foreigners, if they are engaged by a Ghanaian to undertake or participate in small-scale mining, the fine ranges between 24,000 Ghana cedis and 240,000 Ghana cedis, or 5 and 10 years in jail, respectively. And for such foreigners, the equipment or the product that they have made out of those illegal explorations or exploitation of the mineral wealth of Ghana will also be seized and may be confiscated by the state. Let's stop complaining about the devastation of Galamsey. Thank you very much. This is by way of my take.